Well, I did it again, folks. Once again, I messed up. If you're probably wondering what I'm talking about, I thought there was going to be AEW Rampage, but nope. Someone informed me that it was going to happen after Collision, so that's what the head slap is for making another, for 2 weeks in a row, a mistake. But that doesn't mean I have to stop there. We decide, as you know, we're going to do, of course, who's going to level up on NXT Level Up. We have some very interesting matches that we definitely going to be seeing. But first things first, as you know, I decided to just how to say after this one for this one review. As you know, there was too much with the collective. I'm far more behind, so I decided, you know what, just focus on what I can do with it. So I decided, why not? Let's review, of course, GCW versus TJPW. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Now, and of course, we have Sendai Girls recently in Korakuen Hall. We have, of course, a hardcore match and the Sendai Girls World Championship match as well. And then, of course, we have some news updates to give you guys updates what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, and of course, some developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay right here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world where pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also do discussion videos, talk about various topics, such as, of course, the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also do more news updates. If I'm unable to put it on this episode, I can put it on a separate video by itself. We also do more news updates in real timing to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also do the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool things as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us so you'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content on this channel. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have set aside, I believe it's time for me to get this show on the road with our very first review, and this is dating back early this month with the collective during WrestleMania week, GCW versus Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Okie dokie. Our first review, GCW versus Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Now, as you know, we have seen wrestlers making their appearances in GCW of late. We saw that with Maki Ito, Miyu Yamashita. But however, this is a very interesting one because we have seen certain wrestlers that appeared in GCW and wrestlers in Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. Now, this particular event took place on the 6th of April in Philly. Don't remember the name of the venue, but yes. Now, our first match, originally it was supposed to be a tag match, but due to some circumstances, now Kakuta, who was supposed to be in this match, in a tag match, teaming with Saki, was unable to participate due to not feeling too well. But however, they decided to change this match into a three-way. We have one half of the tag team champions, Zuzumi versus Saki versus Pam Harajuku. No, Yeah, Palm Harajuku. So that's kind of interesting to hear. Now, don't forget, Saki has no representation in Tokyo Show Pro Wrestling or in GCW. So basically, that it is. But the only connection she does have, as you know, she was supposed to team up with Naoka Kuda. If you guys probably wondering why, well, there's a simple because those two actually know each other. They actually went to the same promotion together, At Risk Girls. But that's how it works out. But however, the match you probably would think probably Saki, who has much of the experience, would have picked up the win, but no. Now Palm, in the other hand, she is a very unorthodox wrestler. You probably would thought with her unorthodox way would have been the easiest, but no. But it was Azumi with rings the bell that put away Palm Harajuku, allowing her to pick up the win. Now, our next match, we have Session Moth Martina taking on Raku. That's right, Raku, who loves trains. Well, she showed up. Now, it opened up, of course, with Raku going to bed because, of course, that's what she wanted. Now, Session Moth Martina tried to wake her up, and then she put beer in her mouth, and of course, Raku was a bit more disoriented. And of course, she used the pillow in her advantage, but unfortunately, uh, Session Moth Martina applied the code breaker that allowed her to pick up the win. Now, our next match, we have Shaza McKenzie taking on the other half of the Princess Tag Team Champions, Arisu Endo. So this is a very interesting match because you probably would think, well, we know that Arisu Endo and Zuzumi are uh, tag team together. Yes, but sometimes we need to see these wrestlers do things on their own without their partners. But as long as they're there for more support as their seconds, that would have been the obvious thing. But I have to say, Arisu Endo has grown up so much, since joining Tokyo Show Pro Wrestling. I was amazed how she was able to pull it off, but she applied a neck breaker onto Mackenzie in order to pick up the win. Now, our next match, we have Hyper Misawa taking on the so-called Queen of Death Match, which we all know is a load of crap, Steph Delanders. Now, Hyper Misawa, who is the hero. She cheats and people don't care. You know why? Because that's how she rolls. Steph Delanders saying she's the hero because she's dressed up in the All-American flag. That doesn't work in this lifetime. But to our surprise, Hyper Misawa brought the skewers and she put it onto Steph Delanders. But Steph Delanders grabs another set of skewers, but she used that on, of course, Hyper Misawa. And of course, Hyper Misawa failed to stop Steph Delanders, allowing herself to pick up the win with the pinfall. Now, our next match, Yuki Kamifuku taking on Dark Sheik. I thought this match was very interesting. Now, Yuki Kamifuku, what she's capable of, not to mention her long legs, would have been a factor. But no, Dark Sheik, who's been one hell of a wrestler, we know she's capable of everything possible to pick up the win. She applied that by applying the leg drop, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next match, we have Alley Catch versus the Bunny, Mizuki. That's right, I thought this match was going to be interesting. Of course, Mizuki, we all know, is a fantastic wrestler. We can get behind her no matter what. Not to mention one half of what used to be the Magical Sugar Rabbits. But it was, of course, the most amazing modified move by Mizuki that put away Alley Catch with the modified cutie special. That was a pretty interesting way to go about things, but I'm glad that it happened. Now, our next match, we have tag team action. We have Miu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi taking on Janai Kai and Billy Starks. Now, of course, this was a very interesting matchup because we know that Miu Watanabe and Rika Tatsumi are a tag team, better known as Daydream. They take on Janai Kai and Billy Starks. Now, you would think a makeshift team possibly would have been having a disadvantage. Now, we know that Billy Starks and Billy have faced off each other before, but us teaming up, that's a different story. But however, it was the teamwork with Miu and Rika that put away Janai Kai, allowing for Miyu Watanabe to pick up the win by pinfall, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next match is a very interesting one. You're definitely going to like. Yuki Aino, Shoko Nakajima, and Miyu Yamashita taking on Masha Slamovich, Rina Yamashita, and Maki Ito. But what's interesting about this match, of course, we know that Maki Ito wrestled a lot with GCW a lot of times, and she's the current GCW Extreme Champion. Rina Yamashita, GCW Ultra Violent Champion, and Masha Slamovich, JCW World Champion. So basically, everybody in that team has gold. But however, Aino does not. Aino, Shoko Nakajima, and Yamashita. Well, you would think that this match would have led to a different story because we know that Aino, Kojima, and Yamashita, they're not really that close. They, of course, are part of the same promotion. But seeing how GCW team did things, it's so crazy. But in fact, it was Maki Ito with the Texas Cloverleaf that put away Yuki Aino, and just like that, it was over. I have to say, really fun match. I like what they did to it. I hope they can do it again next time. But that's pretty much it what we have for this. So let's move on with Sendai Girls in Korakuen Hall. Okay, Sendai Girls, man, it's been a while since I did a review from them. This time it was in Korakuen Hall on the 14th of April. Now there is another show after this one, but I haven't seen it. Hell, I didn't even know about it at all, but I decided to do what I can do. But this one took place, of course, in Korakuen Hall on April 14th. Now, we did see, of course, the founder and owner, Meiko Satomura, being there giving the promo. Don't know what she said, but I'm sure that she gave the lowdown on the matches and, of course, tell all the fans to enjoy themselves. Now, our first match, we have Yuta Suzuki taking on, of course, the rookie Yuna. Now, of course, if you guys never seen Yuta Suzuki, you may have seen her a few times in GLEAT. She has participated in UWF rules matches in the past, but this time, what she's doing in this is more of a straight up match, wrestling match, not the UWF, but it was, of course, a chokehold by Suzuki to Yuna that allowed her to pick up the win. Next up, we have Sakura Iroda taking on Miyuki Takase. Yes, the veteran, the comedic wrestler you guys probably enjoy. The like. Of course, she was gonna do certain things. I mean, do the thing on your butt and all this other stuff. But however, it was Miyuki Takase that did a move on her. But unfortunately, things did not go exactly according to plan for her because Sakura, when she gets hit real hard, she has a tendency to pin you when she's already disoriented, and she finds out later that she wins. So that's how it rolls up. Now, our next match, we have trios actions. Team number one, we have the girls of Evolution, Chi Chi, and Zones. They team up with Passion of Injection, Nanane Takahashi. They take on Sayori Onoi, Nanami, and Ryo Mizunami. So it's interesting to see these teams team up. Now, as you know, you don't need to know more about Sayori because she is a very fantastic wrestler. Nanane, we know what she's capable of. But unfortunately, it was, of course, Manami who picked up the win when she applied a body press on Chi Chi, and just like that, it's completely over. Our next match, we have Eureka Oka taking on the the Beyond the Sea champion, Sarai. Yeah, same Sarai known as Sarai from NXT. Same one. Of course, this was going to be an interesting match. Now, Oka, who is young and very on the alert, much no longer a rookie, but she has been learning here and there what she needs to do. She put up a hell of a fight, but unfortunately, it was, of course, Sarai with the Sawido suplex that allowed her to pick up the win. Now, our next match, we have an intergender tag match. We have, of course, Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, or as we know him, Ikemenjiro, along with Seigyo Tachibana taking on 200 kilogram Yu and Big Hash Chihiro Hashimoto. Now, I didn't know what to expect on this match, but of course, when it comes to Kuroshio, he would do his usual ways with the jacket and all that. Tachibana with his aggressiveness, that played out a good factor. But however, when you look at 200 um, team 200 kilogram, they are the most powerful team ever. But unfortunately, this match ended in a time limit draw. But as soon as the match ended in a post match, apparently Big Hash had a surprise video message from the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace. It appears that she'll be making her way back to Japan to deal with her once and for all. So basically, to get payback for that particular match. I don't know what they're talking about, but of course, once the video was over, Big Hash put out decided to have something to say. I don't know what she is, but I'm sure she probably said that I'll beat her once and for all. Now, our next match, we have a hardcore match. We have Unagi Sayaka versus Dash Shizako. Now, some of you may question, has Unagi been in hardcore matches before? She has, and that was about 2 years ago during Stardom's showcase event. Now, if you guys don't remember, that was a match where, of course, Natsupoi and Tam Nakano, who were still holding the fort after Mina left after being injured. Basically, Unagi came back. They did a hardcore match against Prominence. No luck success. They basically lost. But this is a singles match where Unagi has to dig a little more deeper. I don't think she's ever been in this type. But however, you cannot deny the experience of Dash, who has done a lot of hardcores. That's why she calls herself the Hardcore Queen. And she picked up the win with the Frog Splash. And just like that, it was over. Now, on a note here, at the venue, Unagi, as you know, been going back and forth, lost the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship to one of the refs. That's right. But she did get it back. You know, I will be keeping track on exactly how that's going to go. I've been trying to see if I can do another Unagi Sayaka watch, but we'll see where that leads us. Now, our next match is our main event. This is for the Sendai Girls World Championship. We have the challenger, Veni, formerly known as Asuka, taking on the current champion, Mika Iwata. Of course, Veni is no stranger to this belt. She was the one who defeated Big Hash about a year ago or so to become the champion, but she lost the belt to Millie McKenzie, and then Millie McKenzie lost it to Mika Iwata. Now it's like Mika Iwata has to defend this belt against the outsiders. That's practically her main goal. But it was, of course, a driver that allowed her to pick up the win and retain the belt. So, not bad at all. So I think the show was pretty good. Hopefully there'll be more of the ceiling events. But I think that's pretty much it right now with this. I think it's time to find out who's going to level up on NXT Level Up. Okay, so who levels up on this latest episode of NXT Level Up? Let's find out. Our opening match, we have Metaphor's Jakar Jackson taking on the so-called beauty queen Ariana Grace. Now, Ariana Grace has one disadvantage in this match. Of course, it's Metaphor. We do see, of course, Ora Menza, Noam Dar, and of course, Last Legend by the side of Jakar Jackson. Of course, it was going to play out, but it did not do any well for Ariana Grace. This match ended with Jakar applying the Sugar Rush, and just like that, it was completely over before it even started. Now, we do see a very interesting tag team that was mentioned that will be in the main event. Of course, we have Dion Lennox and Dante Chen. Now, Dion Lennox has been one of the newer wrestlers that have been around for quite some time. As for Dante Chen, more than that. So it's a very interesting pairing. So it seems like they're building that bond like any other type of tag team we have witnessed. But right now, they need to stay focused against their current opponents that they will be facing at the main event. I'm talking about Malik Blade and Edris Enofe. Now, our next match, we have OTM's Jada Parker taking on Carly Bright. Of course, Briley Bright has Kendall Gray by her side, being her support system, making sure everything goes exactly what she needs. But however, Jada Parker, who was trying to prove points, has done that already when she applied the hip attack, and it was completely over when it even started. Now, our main event, we have Edris Enofe and Malik Blade taking on Dion Lennox and Dante Chen. I thought this match was incredible. Now, you probably would assume that this match, that Dante Chen and Dion Lennox were going to win. I don't think it did. I think we know that Lennox it still has a lot to learn. But however, it was, of course, Malik Blade that picked up the win on Chen. Just like that, it was completely over, and we finished right from there. So I think that's pretty much it with all the reviews. Let's move on with news updates. Okay, welcome to a news update. So let's begin with the promotions on their upcoming events. First ones, we have updates with GCW. Now, an entry has been mentioned for who's going to participate in Cinco de Mayo on the Gringo Locos World on Lucha. That is Mascarita Dorada. So basically, you may know him as El Torito back in WWE, but now he will be participating. They even announced for the June 15th event, Hit 'em Up, Kylie Ray will be also making her return on this particular show. Now, as the show on the 16th, I Can Feel My Face, names have been mentioned that will be involved in this on the 16th of June. We have Nick Gage, Billy Starks, Zilla Fatu, Mance Warner, Joey Janela, Jordan Oliver, Bussy, and possibly plenty more to come. So we'll see where that leads us. Now, French promotion Banger Zone Wrestling has announced for their upcoming show on May 4th. The championship will be defended. Zenza Volta will defend his belt against Samurai del Sol, or as you guys know him, Kalisto. He'll be involved in this. Now, the Deadlock Pro Wrestling for the Limit Break event on the 19th of June. They announced that there's going to be an elimination qualify match for the DPW National Championship. We have Adam Priest and Kevin Blackwood. Now, finally, Progress Wrestling has announced for the Super Strong Style 16. They announced that Shelton Benjamin will be participating on May 26th to the 27th. So it's very interesting. However, Progress Wrestling even announced that they already have certain wrestlers will participate on this event. We have Simon Miller, Casey Navarro, Tate Mayfair's Man Like the Reese, Ricky Knight Jr., and of course Luke Jacobs. So that's pretty much it what took place. Now let's move on with some developments. Now, those who know, there's been talk about what if they did AEW did a Hall of Fame. Kenny Omega went on and said that if he had someone to be inducted first, it would be Brody Lee. I mean, what would you guys think? Would you want to see Brody Lee be inducted? I'm sure I would. Now, the Wrestling Observer has some interesting reports. Let me pull that up real quick. Okay. Now, as you know, with Mighty Gold being launched, there is one particular wrestler that people are considering. What if she plans to leave Stardom once her contract's over to Mighty Gold? Now, she did state that she wasn't planning on going anywhere, but there are those who beg to differ. This is what Wrestling Observer reports. While a lot of people have said Mayu would be leaving for Mighty Gold when her country expires, she told Tokyo Sport that she would be staying. Those close to the situation, including in the Japanese media, and those who know her, saying that she's going to Mighty Gold when her contract expires. So basically, it's more like they're saying she is going, but she's the one who's saying she's not. So that's a little thing I don't know to take face value, but I know that she owed a lot to Rossy Ogawa in his career. I mean, those who know the story, Mayu stayed in his house rent free. People would have assumed that's creepy, but he's always been like a father to her, so that makes perfect sense. Now, Toru Okada has talked about this recently. Let me pull it up. Had a recently attempted to get a deal with to air shows live on Wrestle Universe, but they went to Rossy Ogawa's Marigold group instead. So it appears that they are trying to get on streaming service, but looks like this is not going to happen for them. So we'll see. Now, of course, Vince McMahon has been recently in headlines. Those who were questioning whether Vince is going to start a new promotion. Well, this is what we were told um, by the Wrestling Observer regarding our lead story in last week's issue from someone very close to Vince. While he does not want to start up a new business, he does want to start up a new business opportunity in the future, which is difficult until he can clear his name to a degree. The idea of starting a new wrestling promotion is not one of them. The reality is that he's feeling most that in wrestling that he is simply can't start from scratch and compete against something of the magnitude of WWE. So looks like he's not looking for that. I think he knows that it's going to be impossible. So we'll see where that takes us from here on out. Dax Harwood, they reported. Um, Let me pull that up. Um, as you know, suffered a concussion at Dynasty, but we will hopefully he gets a full recovery. Now, Hanan, as you know, was very much had to deal with the situation with Rossy Ogawa and Bushi Road. This is what she had to say. I was extremely anxious, but when I feel anxious, my younger sisters, Rina and Hina, become more anxious. They both have school, so they are worried. I want them to worry about pro wrestling. I didn't want them to worry about the company. I kept thinking about how should I tell my sisters. In the end, I think it was the one was most confused. I I didn't know who to talk to, but in the end, I realized it's not about following someone. It's about me. I was able to grow this far because of Rossi, but I could not give up on my logging for Cinderella and the white belt. I wonder if it's okay to do in the end just for long for it. So basically, she's been conflicted about how to tell her sisters. Makes perfect sense, but we know she has reached her goal as a Cinderella winner. But as for the white belt, that's going to be a different thing to ask. Now, Tony Khan, as you know, he was on the NFL Network, speaking of what happened this past Wednesday. I have a complicated relationship with Matt and Nick and Jack. Jack has been out of AEW for a while, and we sent him on an excursion to our partner in Japan, where he did great things. I reinstated him Wednesday night on TBS by his own request. He repaid me by hitting me in the stomach with a microphone, and then Matt and Nick pulled up and gave me the Tony Khan driver, which is really a power driver that is the most deadliest moves in pro wrestling. It was banned in all states. It is illegal to the state of Tennessee, and for them to do that to me in front of millions of people in around the world, and it's great audience live Wednesday. With on TBS, I'm scared that it scared my family. I feel really lucky that I am here at the NFL draft and the Jaguars and still be working with working at Jaguars and AEW right now. So yeah, that's pretty much what's taking place. Now, Jinder Mahal also was mentioned. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's talked about making impact in Red Hook section of Brooklyn. He says, "I still have a lot of goals, many dreams, many places to go. Where do I go in Impact? India, Europe, Japan, Canada. The Red Hook section in Brooklyn, stay tuned. You got about 11 more weeks. Maharaja out. So basically, they got that covered. So basically, he wants something, but we'll see where Jinder Mahal takes us. But I think that's pretty much it what we have. So I think it's time to call it a day. Alrighty then. So as you know, we have Rampage and Collision by AEW, but we do have Road to Wrestling the Daku as well. So we'll see where that leads us from here on out. I don't know if I'll be able to do another one, but we'll just wait and see. Now I'm completely done with the GCW Collective. I won't be able to see Spring Break 8 and other events, but I fear because I'm way behind, we're just gonna just skip ahead and try to do the best we can at this moment as we speak. So I think that's pretty much it what we have. So until then, I will see you guys on the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.